Okay, we're here. I'll have to edit that. It was. I had so many things to tell you, and I know it was probably not getting picked up with the just from the piano mic here. But anyway, I want to welcome you all here. There's just so many things and buttons to push, so you have a lot of respect for the television personnel that go on and do this stuff live, and it's so easy to forget one thing, like put the I had the mic on, but it didn't have the software in. But anyway, I want to welcome you all here tonight. I have a lot of great surprises for you tonight. A lot of interesting things. I'm going to preview another one of my original compositions. I think entitled "A New Place," and that's going to be coming up. And no one's heard this, and I've just finished writing it this afternoon. So it's kind of it'll be a fresh one, and I get some. And each one of these broadcasts, I'd like to bring a special element of memorabilia. That would be coming at you, and I'm going to have some special pieces of memorabilia from my life because I've been doing this for a long time. And I look back now, it's been I started at 16, teaching, and I went to Berklee College of Music. Then I was in high school, attending Berklee College, and I went on to Berklee College after graduating from high school in '75. So it's been around a long time. So I got a lot of stories. And fortunately, I was blessed to meet a lot of wonderful, wonderful players, and so I'm going to try to share a little bit of those components of my life with every broadcast. This is number 19, and it's really going to be a very special one because I'm looking at it now. I'm really in the routine of doing this. I had YouTube on Thursday, and today on Facebook on Saturday. I'm looking into potentially streaming on both platforms at the same time. So there's always something more to learn here, but it's I'm welcoming the challenge, so it's really fun. I see my daughter Brooke just popped in. I got 4 kids, so and we're all respecting to stay socially, really practicing our distancing. And it's like love you, Brookie, and little Mila, my granddaughter, and I got a special thing for Brooke in here tonight. So you're gonna watch. Now that you reminded me, Brooke, I see you here. I'm going to play something special for you tonight, a special memory. So you guys got to see this one. I was all ready for her to come in. So anyway, I'm going to start off tonight with a really cool tune. And every show, by the way, I do different tunes. Occasionally I'll repeat something, but for the most part, it's all new material. So it keeps it fun for you guys and for me as the artist on my end. And this is what I do every night. I play from my home, so I'm just kind of inviting you in, and we'll hang out and have some fun. So first tune called "Teach Me Tonight." Well, there you have it. That was the Teach Me Tonight. And again, it's one of those just great tunes to play. It's always, there's so many tunes. And sometimes, I often get to a gig, and I'm kind of notorious for this. I'll do a whole set list of what to play. And the bass player will look at me and say, "Hey, man, you didn't play one tune on the list." So I get there, and just all of a sudden another tune comes in my head, and I'm just like, I'm playing it. So yeah, that happened to be one. I haven't played it in a while, so it's actually a really cool one. I'm actually very inspired. I heard Billy Stritch do it recently. Thanks to Jimmy Page, he posted it the other day, and I was really taken by it. I said, "Man, what a great tune!" It inspired me to go play it. So here I am bringing it out. So thank you, Jimmy, for sharing. Another great pianist and entertainer, Billy Stritch. I'm seeing so many great things happening with my friends. I know my dear friend Nicole is out doing her show tonight too. So we kind of touched in prior to my show, so we're both on the same time. So we're like, so we'll get a chance to check it out later. That's the great thing with these live streams. You can go in and see it a little later. So this brings up the first part of memorabilia. This is really kind of an interesting topic for me, and I've heard it a million times. I have 4 kids, all 14 months apart, and they're so we grew up in New Hampshire, originally from Boston. We went to New Hampshire. They grew up all skiers, and the first thing everyone says, "Does any of your kids play piano?" I have exposed them to it, of course, and as a teacher, I've always been one to feel like it's good to expose them to it, but let the kids shape and follow what they really want to do. So I had dancers, and they did dance and singing and skiing. Skiing was a really big thing in New Hampshire, so they're always skiers, and so music was a thing that it's there for them, and I wait for them to know, it's always there for them if they want it, but it's one of those things that never push it. So they've been very happy young people and growing up and choosing the things that they wanted to do. So that was just my philosophy on it, because I've done so much teaching and I've seen so many situations where if you push someone too hard, then likely they won't, they'll resent it. So you really wait for them to come around and want to do it. So this brings up my daughter, Brooke Delaney. So Brooke is now a very talented hairdresser, and McDowell Mountain Ranch there in Scottsdale. I got my waitress coming here. Hold on one second. No shrimp cocktail, Seema? No, it's really been it's wonderful. This is when you really get along with someone, when you spend months, 24 hours a day, 27 hours a day. Sometimes they feel like 30 hours a day. But we get along and we hug at the end of the day, and we're very happy. So it's really a real test of a relationship for sure. But where I was going with this is Brooke was one that always wants to sing with me. So it was since a little tiny kid, she'd be saying all these words. She'd remember like Will Smith and all these, get jiggy with it and all this, like, and have all the words down. I mean, like, it was like, what? How does she remember all this? So we did a tune, and we did some things here. But anyway, I want to bring up a special memory here for you, and this goes out to Brooke too, and Brooke will appreciate this. This is my daughter Brooke, and there's a story here. Okay, these is incredible musicians with me here. We got John Hunter on bass, Charlie Jennison, myself, and I think Ken Clark was a great drummer then. We were doing a New Year's gig in North Conway, New Hampshire, and my daughter Brooke is right here, and she's like 7 years old, I think, same age as her daughter now, and she had her pretty dress on, and we did a show for New Year's Eve. And it was a really cool gig, and here we are again. Here's another gig we did, which she sat in, and I'm going to tell you what she's singing in a minute, and you won't even believe it. But here's the same bass player. There's John Hunter and Brooke and myself, and this is with Dick Johnson and Greg Abate. This is a really great band up in Damascotta, Maine, on another concert we did. And here's my favorite picture of all time. Here's me playing for a gig outside in Jackson, New Hampshire. And there's Brookie coming up and singing. And what is she singing? She's singing One Note Samba. And for those that know One Note Samba, it's a very difficult tune. And it's something, especially for a little kid to be understanding the words, especially to the bridge. It goes all over the place. So, anyway, I'm gonna play that for you. But she used to play this. She used to sing this tune, and see if you know the name of this. I'm gonna play just a minute of it. Hold on. It's called Blue and Sentimental. It's a really old tune. That's an old tune, and she was learning this tune with me. I don't know how she even got this tune in her head. It's written way a long time ago. Blue and Sentimental, my dreams are blue dreams, and it's a very deep and dark. So imagine this 3-year-old laying in bed singing Blue and Sentimental at night before she goes to bed. So, well, Brooke, anyway, for Brooke for tonight, there's just so many good memories. She's not singing. Everyone's probably going to want to know, is she still singing? She's not singing anymore. And it was one of those kind of things that she might eventually do it, but she had some fun with it, and it was really kind of a hoot for me to kind of give her an opportunity to get up on stage and do it with me. So we did that. And John Hunter, the bass player that was with me, is a great skier. We went skiing. I'm 6'3", and John is maybe 6'4", 6'5", and we went skiing, and man, I felt small next to him. But we spent a few days skiing together, and what a great time. He's an avid skier, which I am too. I was a ski instructor in New Hampshire for 7 years, so a big part of my heart is still in that sport. I love it. We're skiing every day, and all my kids love it. So anyway, I'm going to play some one-note samba for you. You see Brookie here. And Nabila, I want to say hi to Gene. I want to say hi to my friend Gene. I'm saying hi to everyone before. Jack Coleman. Oh, my God, everyone's here. Cheryl, good seeing you. Scott, Dave Landoni. Man, I'm surprised you came off your bike for the show. He's my fellow cycler that does, insane miles. He does so much serious cycling. But I was telling him it's 97 when I went out the other day. 99, he was saying it's in the 50s and the upper 40s. So you take each one. Joe Delaney, my cousin Joe, fantastic piano player. And so anyway, a lot of people in. Jim Avakian, Trish Saunders, everyone, thank you all for coming in. Anyway, a little bit of one-note samba goes out to Brookie, and which was a really kind of special time for me. there you have it. One Note Samba. Ed Bilecki. Thanks for seeing you. Good seeing you, Ed. Joesville's in here. Okay, I got to say hi to Joe. Jim Saunders. Oh, my God, we got a lot. Linda, good seeing you guys. Joe, don't leave. Hold on. You're catching me by surprise. We're going to kind of show you a little bit. For those that don't know my cousin Joe, that might have missed the whole scene here when I was talking about Joe a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, man. There we go. This is back. Me and Joe did 6 hours of dueling piano at the Marriott Hotel in Long Wharf for the grand opening. Here we are, and we did everything from Charlie Parker to Chariots of Fire. If you remember, Joe, we were having a hoot. We had to go rent these tails, and it was we were the Delaney brothers for the day, even though we're Delaney cousins. We're like brothers, though, man. Here we are. What are you playing, man? So yeah, we had so much fun, and this is a really special memory for us. And it was a big deal because it was the gig we played at the Marriott Hotel for the grand opening. So again, this is the kind of memorabilia I'm going to have, and depending on who comes in, I might have something dropped in my computer here so I can show you some pictures. But that is a very special memory with Joe Delaney. You got to check him out. He's a monster piano player, really great cat. This next tune is one I put together. It's called A New Place. I've been writing for being in here and in quarantine and kind of all this time. And man, it's inspiring. I had my originals, and again, if you go back and look at my YouTube channel, you're going to see all my live streams. This is number 19, and many of them I'm featuring a lot of originals. My first original was called Forever April. Then I did More Tomorrows. And then I did Orange Umbrella. Then I did Palermo. And then what else? And then today, A New Place. So yeah, so I got 5 of them already. So yeah, this is kind of my quarantine tunes. So, but it's inspiring. A lot of this stuff I write in the dark, and I'm like a vampire at night. No, I actually get more creative, I think, when I play, when I sit down and I'm just free and clear and no visual stimulation. So it's kind of it's a good thing. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. I've never played this. I just finished it. So check it out. It's called A New Place. Well, there you have it. There was a new place, and again, indicative of the time and place we're in right now, man. Oh, Dave, man, good seeing you, Dave Baratic, another great pianist here in Arizona. Thank you for stopping in, and Danny Doyle, and oh man, it's just so good to see everyone. Carol Jackson from New Hampshire. Oh man, what great memories. Now, this is going to bring up a memory, Carol Jackson. I am so glad you're here, so don't leave. I am going to change my order here a little bit, and I'm going to jump on to this very, very next special piece of music. Now, what ends up happening as a player, I guess you get so reminiscent. When certain tunes remind me of certain things. You know, I had Karen Cameron, great singer. We were very close friends, and I worked with her for a couple of years back in Boston. In a beautiful place with Chris Rathbun on bass, Ron McCorder on bass, different bass players, just piano, bass, and vocal. And it was a fabulous gig, and she was a tremendous singer, and a whole myriad of songs that I remember her from. So we touched it a little bit. I'm keeping my eyes peeled. If she pops in, I'm gonna call her on some things, because every time I play these songs, I think of Karen, and we go back. I'm talking 35 years ago. So it's crazy. So, but anyway, this next one goes back. I think it's time stamped on one of the pitches at 1997, and the greatest part of it, and Carol will remember this, okay, if anyone. So let me go here, and I'm going to preface this. This is a very special song and it reminds me of a very, very special person, and that's the great Rebecca Paris. Rebecca Paris we lost not that long ago, and she's left a lot of us with a really big void, an extraordinary singer, and I had the great, great pleasure to not only know her growing up as a young kid, you know, I mean, when we were just learning jazz, and, you know, she was a studio singer at Soundtrack Recording Studio, and she was doing all kinds of great, great things. And but she went on to be a true, you know, iconic jazz singer. And I got a chance to play with her in a great band for the White Mountain Jazz Festival. When I was living up in the White Mountains, we had myself, we had Peter Katrimas on bass, and we had Matt Gordy, great Matt Gordy, wonderful drummer, and then we had and Fred Haas on tenor. I mean, incredible band. And the one and only Rebecca Paris. So take a look. Here we go. So here we are, the White Mountain Jazz Festival. And this was a few thousand people. You know, it was a big deal. Great sound crew. The piano was happening. I remember the piano being really, really great. And and Rebecca has just knocked it out of the park. Everything she sings, she had every person in the place just eaten out of her hand. And there she is in her element, and it was really something. And here we are. Now, Carol, get ready. We're in Carol Jackson's home up in beautiful Jackson, New Hampshire, after the gig, and kind of chilling out and playing tunes in her living room on her piano, and Rebecca, there's Rebecca, and God love her, you know, she just was, you know, I have such a special place for her, and so she's been special to a lot of musicians there. Yeah, it was in the castle. It was in the castle, Jimmy. It was Carol Jackson lived in this beautiful kind of iconic house. It's known as the Castle, and it was really spectacular. You can't see how high the ceilings are in this picture. This is a close-up, but the ceilings are really high and dramatic with cool draperies and everything. So that was me and Rebecca. So it's so I want to play a special tune, and you have to go, you know, at some point, go check out Rebecca Paris singing All My Tomorrows. It is really something. It's really something. It's just, and she did a thing I played and made me think of her a few shows back. I played Darn That Dream, and she was just extraordinary, you know. So anyway, this is kind of like, see what happens when you get into this memorabilia thing. And it's so fun to be able to share it socially like this on this platform. It's unbelievable. I feel like I'm at a piano bar with a giant scrapbook, you know. So, anyway, hope you enjoy All My Tomorrows. Here we go. This one, we love you, Rebecca Paris, and this goes out to you, my dear. Okay, here we go. That's out to Rebecca Paris, and again, she is just one of those very, very, very special people in my life that, people cross your they cross your path every now and then, and it's just like, and stuff just, all of it just, man, it just, these tunes, I'll always remember this tune for the rest of my life. She did the tune Lush Life. with me, absolutely insane chord changes. She had it all reharmed, and it was all really cool. And I'll always remember that when I play that tune. I think of her. So there's just certain things that certain people that cross your life when you play this music. Steve Marvin was another great vocalist that I work with. He had his own thing too. Those that know Steve Marvin in Boston, he's just an extraordinary talent. And so anyway, just certain tunes mean certain things to us. So it's cool. This next tune I'd like to play. See if I have anything else on here. I had so the memorabilia is going back. Anyway, the person I was talking about, Karen Cameron. So for those that haven't seen Karen, just while I'm sitting here, I've got this. There's me and Karen Cameron back at Finity's Country Squire with the great Chris Rathbun. And it is just, man, what a great, great singer. So I'm waiting for you, Karen. If you're out there, if you're going to watch this later, I'm going to make sure I'm giving you some kudos. Okay, I'm waiting for you to be in the audience. So I'm going to, for sure, and I'm going to play your tunes. And here we are playing together. And Chris is just another great bass player. And Karen, this is way back. I was in my 20s. And long hair, mustache, glasses. And it's like, who is that guy? It's like, man, time, where did it go? It seems like just yesterday, And so as much as I've been in Arizona, and I love Arizona, and there's so many great, great musicians here, I have, I think everyone's like that. Musicians are like this. You have a bond that will last like eternal, kind of thing. It's really wild. And I'm still connected with so many people I met when I was in my Boston days. Back in the 80s, early 80s, there was so much happening in Boston playing. Everyone was playing, like every night. I mean, I was booked. I remember doing 90 gigs in a row, and and be booked a year in advance. Like 6-7 nights a week. Different places all the time. So it was really it was a kind of a heyday. But things of course have changed. But this next tune I'd like to do. It's kind of an older tune. I think I might have done it at one of my older shows. I know Len Whitmore, my fan, was here at the time, and let's see, who else is here? John Ragusa. I want to say hi to Sharon. Thank you for coming in. Yes, and it's like I played the Ritz-Carlton for many years. So this is the casual version of the Ritz-Carlton, but but you have to have self-service, Anyway, but yeah, it's Mary. Thank you for coming in. Denny Mons, man. Another great, great trumpet player. And what I'm hoping to do, and I even talked to Denny about this, or not many people at all, but I'm waiting on a switcher to be able to run in multiple cameras and all. And I hope to be doing a lot more of this live streaming, and I hope to get some duos. Before we went into quarantine, I had a great gig with Jerry Donato. I play a lot with Chris Stewart, who's an extraordinary sax player and a very dear friend. And I had that last gig with Jerry. And I really remember just how much I enjoy playing with just horn players too. I mean, it's really fun, man, because it's you're holding it all down, and I got my kind of stridey kind of thing going on, so I can really fill that out. And it's so I'm hoping to do some live streams from the house. So maybe we'll get Denny to come up and hang out, and we'll have some fun. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, we got this next tune is Tuxedo Junction. Check it out. Well, there you have it. Tuxedo Junction, man. It was like one of those old tunes. Always fun to play a solo piano or with trios and things. I got to acknowledge, too, the band that you might have heard in the very beginning. I usually have fun putting this together with the trio stuff. I have a lot of trio stuff on my YouTube channel. And what's really great is I'm able to kind of pick and choose. So the first tune you heard there was I'm Beginning to See the Light. And that was with my trio back I had over in California with Sinclair, Lott on drums, wonderful drummer, and the great Roger Shew, who we lost a few years ago, and extraordinary talent and wonderful person. And I was very blessed to have had the opportunity to work with him. So it really was a special, special band, and I hope you enjoyed it. That was recorded live. I used to go do these concerts at for Keyboard Concepts. They had a location in Santa Monica, California, and then in Fountain Valley, California, and in the LA area too as well. So I had a lot of opportunities to go play these extraordinary pianos. This is the great thing. I go to play these gigs, and I'd be playing these 9-foot concert pianos, and I'd go in with my mics and my cameras, and I was able to capture all this, So I have it all on there, and a lot of that band you'll be able to see a lot of that on my YouTube channel with the trio stuff and a lot of solo things. So anyway, this thing comes to mind. What comes to mind is with Karen, Cameron. She used to do these tunes, and I was thinking of ones that would be really kind of an appropriate thing for me to do for her. Even though she's not in, I know she's going to probably get a chance to see this. So I have to acknowledge the fact that you saw her picture, and she's a really good singer. We used to do tunes like But Not For Me, More Than You Know, Sleepin' Bee, all these great tunes. And there's a tune here that I'd like to do, and these go to He's Funny That Way. She used to do this, and it's really a cool tune. So I'm gonna take off on this one here. Enjoy. She's funny that way. Again, it's an old tune. Let's see who come in. Oh, man, Greg Abate. Oh, my God. And Greg is another one, another of my great, great buddies. And here we go. Greg, just for you. Hey, here's the cat, man. Him and the great Dick Johnson. And there we are afterwards. Here's with your son, Anthony. And the great Dick Johnson. Really something. So I save these a lot of times when, you know, I get people coming through that I haven't seen, and, you know, man, I miss you guys. And me and Greg have so many memories together, playing together. So it's been a really very special time. So anyway, I'm going to have to leave you again for another day. And I'll be back next week. So be sure to check in with my... I'll try to announce at the beginning of the week what my schedule is going to be. As of now, it's going to be Thursday night, 7 at my YouTube channel, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and then back here at 5 o'clock on Facebook. So I'm still looking into trying to be able to stream on both platforms at the same time. So that'd be kind of cool if I can do that and have both audiences here at the same time. So looking into that. But I want to wish you all a very fruitful week, and, you know, everyone make the best of this. I know we're in very uncertain times, and just take one day at a time. Let's pray for better tomorrows. And speaking of, this next tune is one of my originals that I played in one of the prior shows. I'm going to leave you on this. It's called More Tomorrows, and it's so fitting that it's always like tomorrow. You're always wondering what it's gonna be, how is this all going to shake out. So hope you enjoy my another original composition of mine written during this quarantine time called More Tomorrows. Until next time, I want to wish you all a very blessed week, and everyone take care. Okay? Take care. Bye.